free trade agreements. So the environment is corrupt. Third, what should I know EBRD, so much everybody for the wonderful work that has done it for EBRD. I know, yeah.
We have already shown the proven track of records and proven success stories of how the government could be the best host for the investors, and how the government and how the country can offer and change all these policies in order to promote investment. So we already heard the stories that we have that investors prefer to have, of course, a stable environment, predictable environment, and Georgia is also the true democracy with a consequent role of free and democratic elections. So the investors could be sure that they are building their business in predictable environment. So we have very low corruption rates, and we are the champions in the region for the perceived corruption indexes and anything that is associated with the corruption. And we have strong anti-corruption policies to prevent any type of corruption in the future. We have very strong institutional arrangement, pro-business policies, and one of the lowest tax burdens country, so we're the third place in the world with a tax burden. We have just 6 taxes, and we have 0 profit tax for the reinvested profit. We also have very simple regulations for the customs, almost free barrier regulations and policies for the business, and of course we have a very open economy. So one of our advantages is that we have the free trade agreements, so almost we have free trade agreements with all our neighborhood countries, and of course we have about 19 free trade agreements, and we are the only country in the region which have the DCFTA and at the same time free trade agreement with China. And of course the free trade agreement with the CIS countries, with EFTA countries, Turkey, with also negotiation with the US and India going on. So we already are outreaching about 2.3 billion market by locating your business in Georgia. And we are also serving as a connectivity for the countries in the region. We're serving 8 landlocked countries, some of them are double landlocked countries, and we are offering also very vibrant atmosphere, but of course all this connectivity that brings all these businesses around. So we are not offering like Georgia as a country where you can make the business, but we are offering the Georgia as a country where you can make the business with all the countries sitting here with very good atmosphere. And of course, one biggest advantage, we are also considered to be the cradle of wine, so making business in Georgia is not just safe, predictable, and profitable, but it's also a pleasure of doing business in Georgia. And what we are getting with that, so of course we are getting the economic growth. We have about 5% GDP growth, which is considered to be by IMF one of the strongest players in the region. We have, of course, benefit of making the hubs for the regional connectivity, as already mentioned, for energy, for the business services, for the financial services. So we are also building our economy to be really open, not to compete with our neighbors, but build on the successes and the advantages of our neighbors as well, and offering Georgia as a place for investments. Of course, we believe that we can help our countries to become stronger, and of course serve your businesses and outreach your business investments to the countries, broader countries in the region. Like a closing remark, so once again to reiterate that making business and investment in Georgia is actually making the business and investing in the place where Europe meets Asia, and where there is 2.3 billion market, access to that biggest economies, and at the same time, of course, it's making business as a country which already made its choice for very strong European and Euro-Atlantic integration. It's not our recent choice, it's the choice that we made, I would say, centuries ago, and where we are following all our agenda, all our actions, and all our policies are focused on regaining back our full-fledged place in Europe, and it means that all the reforms, everything that we are doing in Georgia are corresponding to the highest European standards. So thanks again for this opportunity, and of course we are looking forward to see you in Georgia as investors, as visitors, and as friends of our country. Thank you.